Hi everyone, I'm Ben Quay from Loyalist Marketing, Communications, and Recruitment Team, and I'm delighted to host another program info session today. My special guest is program faculty member from our business accounting program, Karen Baker. Karen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, Ben.
Karen, before we jump into the program, I was hoping you could share a little bit about yourself with our audience.
Okay, I'm glad to. So my name's Karen Baker, as Ben already said. I'm a graduate of Queen's University with a BA in Economics and Sociology and an MBA. I also have my Chartered Professional Accountant's designation, the CPA, and a Master's in Adult Education from Central Michigan University. I've been with the college full-time since 2005.
So let's jump right into the session. How is the business accounting program at Loyalist College making accounting fun?
Depending on the course topic and the teacher, we have a lot of games. We have a cash flow game that students play early on to understand about how the amount of money you make affects your lifestyle. We have Monopoly type games where you do the accounting for the Monopoly. We have business simulations. One of our faculty members, Bruce Wright, has a bit of a competitive nature to him. And so he has some managerial accounting simulations that he sets up with the students in teams where they compete with each other. And it's a great simulation activity, and it's nice for us as faculty to see the teams as they're progressing through it, using the language and terminology of accounting and demonstrating their understanding of the skill sets that they've learned. We also have some field trips. Our students go to the casino for a field trip to learn about internal controls in terms of how they manage their cash and their operations.
And just to kind of touch on some of the activities I've seen your program participate on campus, I know that you host a tax clinic as well each year. Can you talk a little bit about what the students are involved with this?
Yeah, so our students participate in a tax clinic. How that works is it's actually a Canada Revenue Agency run tax clinic. So the students have to do some online training through Revenue Canada, and then they write a test. And if they pass the test, they're eligible to actually be a staff member in the tax clinic. And they will get students that will come in. They'll meet with the students, go over the records that they need to bring to do their tax return. They'll make sure that they qualify because there has to be a certain income threshold that you can't surpass. And then they'll process the return and return the documents and go through the return with the student and give the student a memory stick with their return on it. We usually do around a couple of hundred maybe in our best years returns for students and generate about $200,000 in tax refunds to those students. Now in that course, if you don't pass or you don't want to do don't pass the CRA testing, or you don't want to do the live meeting with people, the replacement is about 6 tax returns, case scenarios that Carol Copeland, the professor, provides to the students, and they have to complete those in lieu of actually meeting with clients. So either way, you still get the experience working with the live documents and the people and preparing the actual returns. So it's a very good clinic, and it's something that our students look forward to participating in, and that I think that students around the college look forward to having because they can get the returns done for free.
I can hear you on that one. I know it's a very popular service on campus whenever it's running. And
Yep.
I noticed on the website as well that there's a 2- and 3-year delivery option for this program. Could you just explain the differences between that 2- and 3-year program?
Sure thing. Our 2-year program is designed to graduate out a student who would have a basic knowledge of accounting, managerial and financial, communications, Excel, personal tax, and that sort of thing, geared towards individuals that want entry-level jobs, say in payroll or accounts receivable, accounts payable, purchasing, that sort of thing. So it really is sort of the foot in the door for individuals that are going to apply for jobs that don't really require any work experience before you go into the field. Our 3-year program obviously has 1 more year to it. Most of that 3rd year is increasing the depth of knowledge in the subjects you've already covered and in applied learning courses so that you get a real hands-on feel for what you're going to be doing. It allows you to apply for jobs that might ask for 1 to 3 years worth of work experience because you've had that through your simulations and the learning that you've done dealing with clients and so forth. And that lets you therefore enter the field at a higher level with a higher level of pay. So we do have those 2 options. We also have another option at the end of 2 years to go on to university and work towards completing your degree at a university in commerce so that you can pursue the CPA designation. And we have quite a few students that do that because 2 years at home versus 2 years away at university is a lot less expensive. Plus, if you're coming out of high school at 17, 18 years old, it's pretty young to move away from home. So we do get a lot of students that pursue that option as well.
I think that's a great piece of information for students to consider as they're kind of making their choices there, right? To have an opportunity for that kind of pathway is a great.
One of the nice things with it too is that no one choice means you can't do the others. Everybody does the 2-year program. So you can make the choice to come back for year 3, or you could make the choice to pursue the university stream.
Excellent.
Yeah, so no one's cut out.
And I know that we've discussed in the past, a lot of your students having opportunities locally to enter into the field, within their second year, even though they're planning on going into the third year. Can you talk a little bit about the opportunities locally students are going to have with a diploma from this program?
Yeah, certainly. We're very fortunate in this area because we have public sector enterprises such as the hospital and the college. We've got the military base. We've got the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte out in Tyendinaga. So we have a lot, as well as some significant manufacturers out in our industrial park, and lots of services around town. So we have a lot of opportunities for students to get jobs in fields that they might be interested in. So accounting doesn't mean that you sit and do debits and credits all day and prepare financial statements. You're actively involved in decision making at all levels of the business as you gain experience. And you may be interested in manufacturing, in which case you may want to look at managerial accounting. You could be interested in tax, in which case you want to go to CRA, or public accounting and you go to work for Wilkinson or Company and Welsh or Company or some of the other local accounting firms, so that you can pursue that particular field that you wish. But there really is a case of the world is your oyster, if you will, that there are so many opportunities here in this area. And we happen to have an area that has a population that's retiring en masse. So there's lots of job opportunities. And we're also fortunate that myself and Carol and Bruce all have pretty good contacts in the community. So we get a lot of people looking for potential candidates. I had one today and they've got 5 students that are currently about to graduate this June. They got their resumes and asked for our comments on the students. So we're always getting people asking for that type of information and sending suitable candidates their way.
It's always great to have faculty from the program with an extensive network in the industry that you go to.
Definitely.
And I was wondering as well, if maybe this would kind of roll nicely into my next question, and that is that there's a lot of institutions that are offering accounting programs. What makes Loyalist different and stand out from the rest?
Students that come here to this program have the benefit of small class sizes. Our average intake for year 1 is about 35 students, which means that we get to know you and you get to know each other. So there's not the opportunity to kind of hide amongst your classmates. We sort of get to know you pretty quickly and know where your strengths or weaknesses are if you've got issues that you're dealing with outside of campus or whatever. So we can help you with those things. Our goal, I always like to say that the goal is to have the door and give you the key, and you just have to get the key in the door and come through and graduate. It's not a massive series of walls that are put up to try and prevent you from graduating. So all 3 of the full-time faculty work very hard to make sure that any issues that you have inside the classroom or outside the classroom are being dealt with to your satisfaction. So that's one of the big things. But the college itself does have excellent support services in terms of things like its tutoring services, its health center, its different online and in-class resources, our library and that sort of thing. So, you can go into the library and find a seat and use the resources because there's actually enough room to do that at our library. And it's just a nice place to live. Belleville is a very nice place to live. So why not come to school here if you're local, or why not come to school here if you're not local and come to see what we have here. The other thing too is that our faculty is, as I mentioned, quite caring and will work to accommodate you with any issues that you might have. And we seem to never go a semester without somebody have some sort of issue that they need to have dealt with, but we do that. And we do work very hard. It's not hand-holding per se, but we do work very hard to make sure that they're successful. So,
So do you feel
and
like this course can really be geared towards anyone who's just interested in getting into the accounting world, whether that be a current business owner that wants to keep their own books, or whether that be a student who is really math inclined? Is it a little
Mhm.
bit for everybody?
It is, it's almost like a skilled trade. I often equate it to a skilled trade. You learn the skill set to be an accountant, and then of course you spend your career enhancing it and developing it further. But you have created a skill set that you can take anywhere to any industry, anywhere in the world. Because accounting is accounting, especially now that we have international reporting standards which say that this is what you have to do, regardless of whether you're here or you're in Taiwan or you're in South Africa. So it's very helpful that way, in terms of if you're someone that has wanderlust and wants to go and work overseas, you can do that. We've had students go overseas to study that have gone to Ireland through some of our articulation agreements as well to finish their, get a degree in Ireland in accounting. So there's a lot of opportunity that way. That's what
Could
I
you
was going to
touch a
say.
little bit on that, Karen, the articulation agreement that takes
Yes,
students to
sure.
Ireland?
Yeah. So the college works very hard to develop articulation agreements between colleges and also colleges and universities. So the college to college basically says if you started, say, at Algonquin or another college and you wanted to come to Belleville, you could transfer your credits as a block credit into, say, year 2 or semester 2 of the program. So we have that type of an agreement. We also have agreements with the universities across Canada and internationally as well, that some of them are a block transfer. So the same sort of thing, you get a 2-year diploma and that gives you eligibility to go into year 3 at university, for example. Other times you have to negotiate one-on-one. So someone, for example, with a 3-year diploma could negotiate with Queen's in Kingston and get maybe 60% of their credits counted towards the courses at Queen's to get a Bachelor of Commerce. So we work very hard at that, partly because if you are a student that wants to pursue the professional designation, you must have a university degree to start the process. And the other thing is that we have a lot of people that are university graduates that come into our program because they realize that they've got the underlying skill set in whatever they were taking, but they don't have the business skill set. And our program, we worked very hard to make sure that our program covers all sorts of things. It's not just accounting. We've got human resources, we've got production, we've got costing, we've got marketing. So all of those other pillars within a business environment, we've covered off all of them, at least at the introductory level. So, there's the flexibility for students that way. And as I mentioned earlier, you come to the college for 2 years, you do the program, you save up some money, you live at home, and then you go and pursue the year 3 and 4 of the university degree. So that's one of our options as well.
Perfect. Lots of great information here in this information session, Karen. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'd just like to mention, we had worked to develop a program in line with CPA Ontario for a certificate that was referred to as ACAP, which was the accounting certificate, or advanced certificate, pardon me, in accounting and finance. And then CPA Ontario canceled that program. So we went back and took our 3rd year and we've revamped it to be almost entirely applied learning, so hands-on learning. And one of the things that we're having this program in both semester 5 and 6, so in our fall and our winter semesters, is we have a brand new community accounting clinic where our students will have 1 day a week blocked off, and they will go to Trendbell, who's our partner with this, and Trendbell is on campus, and they will provide accounting services to set up the books for startups, to help them with their payroll administration, to help them with filing for HST and GST, doing budgets and forecasts and all that sort of stuff. So it's a great opportunity for us to create a partnership in the community. It's not going to cost the companies that use it anything, but it gives our students a chance to build up their skill set, build their confidence, create some networking, and really practice their skills. And it's going to benefit, obviously, the organizations that get the help. And if the organizations are successful and grow to any size, there's the opportunity for those students to perhaps become employees in the accounting field for them.
Excellent.
So we're really excited about that.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. You've got the inside scoop from a program faculty member about what to expect in the business accounting program at Loyalist College. If you're interested in applying, visit ontariocolleges.ca today. Or you can email your questions to recruiter@loyalistcollege.com. We can ask Karen your questions directly, make sure that you get all the information if we missed anything in today's session, or you can even post comments when we post this video to our social media channels. We're going to respond as quickly as we can, give you the best information that we can. And we're also covering application fees for anyone applying to Loyalist this month. That's a $95 value. Again, Karen, thanks so much for joining me today to share a little bit more about the business accounting program at Loyalist.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Take care.